Hey everybody, Robert here, Fusion Power Sports. Today we've got a set of e-bike tires we're going to go Supermoto style on. This is a Yozma electric dirt bike. So this is a 50-mile-an-hour bike. We're taking off the knobby tires and we're putting on a set of Michelins. I'm kind of going to show you how that's done right here. All right, so first we're going to take off our plastic valve stem cap. Then we got a 12mm nut. Now I have already taken the pressure out of the tire here. So that's step number one. All right, next step, taking the tire, installing it into the clamps. So this is a Coates RC100. It's perfect for motorcycle sized tires. I'm gonna slowly press the clamps in. Make sure to get all four, and then fully lock. So it is a very firm mount here. All right, next step, taking some lube, and I'm gonna just take my brush and I'm gonna wipe this tire lubricant all the way around the rubber bead of the rim. So I'm not sure how to explain this. This is like 50-50 mix of slime and a Dawn dish soap. So here we're going to take our clamp. It's called a duck head. We're going to drop it down. Going to lock it into place. I'm going to take the tire iron. I like using the spoon side, and I'm going to be very careful not to pinch the tube. All right, so we're gonna go in with the tire iron. Gonna make sure we don't pinch the tube. And I'm gonna look under here. I'm gonna make sure I'm not pinching the tube. I'm gonna come all the way over. Right to there. Add just a little bit more lube right here. I'm going to go ahead and dismount. So once that's off here, we're going to go ahead and pull the tube completely out. That's the old tube. There's the rim band. We're going to go back and take the other side off. So now I'm going into the opposite side of the tire, bringing it over. Voila! That is the tire we're taking off. All right, new rim band. Gonna slide that in right over the existing rim. Make sure the hole lines up. Make sure there's no twists. And then we're gonna grab a new tube. So this particular tire is gonna be a 17-inch. And that is gonna be a 2.50 by 17. If you take a look at the hardware right here, it comes with a new cap and it comes with two nuts. So we want to take one of these nuts off. We want one nut to stay inside the rim. The other nut is going to go on top of it once the tube's installed. So getting that nut nice and firm. We'll set this here. Let's take a look at our tire. We got a Michelin. Check that out. A Pilot Street 2 for an e-moto dirt bike. That is fun. Once again, lube in one side, lube in the other side. Pay attention to the directional arrow. This way is facing forward, sitting on the bike. So knowing that the bike has a brake caliper on the left side, this is going to be the correct direction. All right, so new tire installation. Going to place half of the tire inside the duck head. Going to rotate. Going back with a new tube. This is a 17. This is going to be a tight squeeze, but we're going to get it in there. So got the tube started. I just got the valve stem through. I'm going to start that second nut, and I'm just barely going to get it started. So from here, we want to install the tube, making sure it's not going to twist, it's not going to fold, and that it's not going to be in a position that we're going to pinch it when we're installing the tire. So that looks pretty good. All right, so I'm going to hit it with some lube one more time. I want to start with this machine on the opposite side of the valve stem because I don't want to run over it. I want to start just a hair after, and then I want to stop right before I run over the valve stem so the machine doesn't rip it out. I like using these little plastic tire irons when possible. It's working all the way around. All right, simple as that. So your street tire has been installed. That's a Michelin Pilot. We're going to get it aired up. We're going to get it installed. We'll get you a picture of it on the bike. All right, so we're airing up the tire. And I want to air it up till I see the bead pop all the way around, and it's even all the way around. So you got to check both sides, right? Want to make sure that bead is even all the way around, and it is not here through here, so I'm going to put a little bit more air into it. You'll watch it pop right here. So we had some problems with the bead popping right in this area. We put about 40 psi in it, which is a little over the operating pressure. We're going to try to reseat that one more time. All right, that one got it. Let me go ahead and clean some of the slime off of there. We'll get it looking pretty and new like a Michelin Pilot's supposed to be here. Of course, the slime isn't very helpful as far as traction goes on the road either, so that's two good reasons to get all that slime cleaned up. And this is a new bike as well, so we want to take it to the next level here as far as keeping it shiny and new and making sure there's not any scratches on it. All right, so we got the tire mounted on the rim. We got it aired up. I like to run 33, 36 with the rear getting a little bit more air. So yeah, next step, wheel balancing. You know, how important is this on a 50-mile-an-hour bike? You know, is it critical? It's probably more critical on a 150-mile-an-hour sport bike. You know, we're going to take it to the next level. We're going to balance it out, just like we would a big sport bike tire or a cruiser tire. So with this model, this is going to balance to a little under 1/8 of a gram accuracy. So, you know, there's not going to be any pulsation when you're riding. It'll be a little bit smoother of a ride. So we'll drop this in here. Let's get our appropriate spacers to make this work. All right, so here's where we're going in with some of the spacers, a couple of the cones. This is a really narrow tire, so we're gonna have to use a lot of spacers to make this work. And then the final piece that threads on. Now, a couple measurements the machine needs to know. The first measurement being the distance from the tire machine to the rim. So in this case, we're 235 millimeters. The next measurement is going to be the width of the rim. So measuring here to here, we've got 2.5. And then the final measurement here is the actual diameter of the tire. So we know this is a 17. So at this point, we're ready to balance. So we're going to stand away from the machine, press the start button. All right, so we're calling for 3/4 of an ounce right here. So at the very top of the tire on the machine, I got 3/4 of an ounce. Just clean the surface. I'm going to hold that there for a minute. Now in the racing world, they want to see some tape over the wheel weights as well. And since it's a black rim, that makes sense. So we're not only reinforcing the weights so they don't fly off, we're making it match the rim color. Black. We'll go ahead and recheck. Spin one more time. Perfect. So got it to 0.0. That's a perfect balance. And we're ready to reinstall.